Chelsea Kabarkis here with Hot 97 TV. We're here at Uncle Russ's Luncheon, where they're bringing together some money to bring some more awareness for art programs in New York City public schools for after school and weekend programs.
We're going to be celebrating the arts. He's going to be honoring a whole bunch of people, including Cyndi Lauper. Girls just want to have fun. All right, a slew of other people. We're gonna go inside here. Chelsea, we famous. Let's just go in here. Hot 97 TV.
I'm here with Tamara. She looks lovely today, by the way.
Thank you very much, as do you.
Thank you. So I know you've been part of other causes. What brings you here today? Does this have a significant meaning for you?
Absolutely. I know how important arts education is for kids, and Rush does such an amazing job making sure thousands and thousands of kids in New York and New Jersey are exposed to the arts. So I'm just glad that I could be here to help support that, and I understand the impact that this organization has had in the community.
Do you think the lack of art programs and sport programs in New York City, that's actually for bad behavior for kids, do you think that has a lot to do with it?
Well, I mean, I think we all know that, kids need, they need focus, they need activities that, inspire them. And it's been proven that, an education system that has a strong arts or athletic programs has stronger academics. It's just a fact.
What stood out to you as one of the biggest problems coming into like inner city youths and not getting enough arts? What was kind of the big push to make you want to kind of help out with the arts as far as New York City?
Because the bottom line is arts can transform people's lives. What I find interesting is here in New York, we talk about how when artists move into neighborhoods, they transform the real estate. They transform the real estate. Okay, but imagine what it does to people, what it does to people's lives. And let's take that idea and look at kids and think about how art can change them, transform them, and take them and help them evolve and grow and beautify them and their lives.
So what importance does art have for you and the fundamental for a child?
I feel that art is so necessary. It's so necessary. I don't even understand how you could not have it, because within the education system, you need as many little doors to get these kids interested, to focus them. And art and music afford you the possibility of teaching history with it, of teaching math with it, of teaching chemistry, because when you paint, you mix colors. They're chemicals. So, there's a lot of ways to get these real people in. For me, if it wasn't for art and music, I don't know. I did leave school anyway. I wasn't a student like that. But I went back to school. I went to college for art. And everything that they taught me, I have used in my professional life.
I mean, I'm an athlete, and I use that every day.
Now, when I was reading your bio, I thought it was critically important. I thought it really touched me because my mom was a teacher and a principal for many years. So she used to talk about how she never had any resources for these kids, updated books, supplies. So when I found out what you did and the website you created and the foundation that you started, it was really important to me. So talk a little bit about what DonorsChange.org means.
Yes, well, so DonorsChange.org is this place where teachers like your mom can create classroom project requests that represent the books, the art supplies, the microscopes that they need for their students. And then these projects become giving opportunities for anybody, even if they have just $1 to spare. So you can go to DonorsChoose and pick the project that you want to support. You could search for kindergarten projects created by Bed-Stuy teachers and choose the one that you think is most compelling, and then be able to see exactly the impact that you're having. Right.
So what change have you seen? What's the most significant change that you've seen from students, I guess, all over the country from your foundation?
Well, I was a history teacher at a high school in the Bronx for 5 years. That's where DonorsChoose started. My students helped me get the site off the ground. And today there are 17 million kids, overwhelmingly in low-income communities, who've got books, field trips, technology, art supplies that they need And that's really, I think, the biggest impact we would point to.
Arts in general is very important, and I think that like government, and they think of it as more of a frivolous thing, and so they just cut it back. But in the long run, it's so important. It's just so important.
Especially for nurturing young kids' minds. Like, you have to, I know I was exposed to art, I had art class, but I feel like these, kids coming up now, they don't have an outlet like that, so it is extremely important.
Yeah, it's very important. And also, within the arts, you find people who are like you, so then you belong. You don't feel so alone. You feel okay to be yourself. You gain that confidence that you need to conquer whatever it is you want through the arts, like just plain educate, like just the plain old, like the basics. They're not necessarily going to get you there. It's the artists that'll get you there, and that will help you in the future, or they'll help these kids in the future.
I'm just hoping by the time, I have children and, Madeline's, a little more grown, that there will be more arts as far as schools and communities for children to, enjoy.
I hope so, and every study shows that kids who do art not only do well in the arts, they do well in everything else. It helps with math, it helps with science, it helps with creativity, it helps with problem solving. So it's not just about the arts, it's about making kids with great, brilliant, creative minds.
Do you think a child's bad behavior in New York City especially, do you think it's the lack of sport programs and artistic programs after school?
Yeah. What's a kid gonna do? Where are they going to go? And if your parents are working, where are you going to go? You're going to get into trouble.
No, yeah, that's very true. And how excited are you to be honored today?
It's pretty great. I mean, it's Russell Simmons, for God's sake.
You're being honored because you've been behind some of the, as far as the production of some of the most notable brands of clothing that we know, like Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and first of all, sharp tie, let me just say that. But how does that feel to know that being an African American, especially in some place like clothing and fashion, being so stickler of certain type, how does that feel for you to be here today and being honored?
Well, it's an honor just to be associated with Russell Simmons, first of all. Tommy Hilfiger and I go way back. We grew up together, and been working with Tommy for over 15 years. So to be able to do philanthropic work and to invest in children and education, I have the best job in the world.
When you hear stereotypes and rumors like, oh, these brands don't support African Americans and these clothes are not for African Americans, how does that make you feel being at some place like the helm of some of these notable brands?
Well, it upsets me, obviously, but as I always say is that, we should be doing good works and let our works tell the story. And so we've invested in programs like the MLK Memorial, Autism, Fresh Air Fund. We're involved in a lot of organizations, BRAG, which is Black Retail Action Group. So we let our action speak for itself, and Tommy's a pioneer. Calvin's been involved in a lot of the programs around the country. So, I think it takes care of itself.
It's just what we do. We've been doing this for 20 years. We underwrite art education for inner city kids, and we're honoring Craig and my man who built Donors Choose. It's like where you can donate directly, donorschoose.com. You can donate directly to a school teacher who will ask for a specific request in a specific neighborhood. I did Hollis, Queens, all the schools there, and Craig did probably 300 states. He's rich as shit. And then it's just a lot of people supported Donors Choose the other day. Yesterday, I think it was, and there was so many people who gave lots of donations to, I think they added up to $14 million.
Wow.
And so that's a great foundation. We helped, we gave them their first donation and some credibility 15 years ago. So I'm really happy to see what they built it into, Donors Choose. And we're also honoring Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's what we do every year. We have two events, one here and one really big event in the Hamptons every summer. So it's the Rush Foundation. We've been around for, as I said, a long time, and we just keep doing it.
Well, Uncle Rush, I just want to thank you for inspiring hip-hop, number one, and then continue the arts as far as inside of schools and building up children. Like, it's really important. I appreciate what you're doing.
Without exercising the creative muscle, kids are lost. You go to schools without art programs, they can be like prisons. You have to promote creative exercises because, you got to imagine yourself out of struggle. Sometimes without art, the schools are like prisons. That's just the bottom line. So we have to make sure there's creative exercise in schools.
Hi, this is Guy Vickers, and you're listening to the best radio in the world, Hot 97.